Hi, I'm Jenny with Les Schwab Tire Center, and today we're going to teach you how to change a flat tire. Let's get started. Okay, so the number one thing that you always want to make sure is that you're able to put your spare on in a safe location. You don't want to become a hazard, so you need to make sure that either you're in a parking lot or you're able to pull far enough off the side of the road that you can put your spare on safely. So once your vehicle is at a safe location, you want to make sure that your vehicle is in park. You want to make sure that your parking brake is set to prevent the vehicle from rolling. And for visibility, always have your hazards on to make sure people around you can see. So you want to confirm that you have a spare tire and spare tools. You're going to check in your trunk. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift up the liner in the rear of your trunk. And this is where our spare tools and our spare tire is located. You've got your instructions right here. And it's going to show you where to properly jack the vehicle up and how to get your tools out for installation. There's a jacking point on every vehicle, and in the instructions it shows you where it's at. So now that we have the jack in place, we don't want to lift it all the way up. We want to loosen those lug nuts before we lift the vehicle completely up to remove the tire and wheel. And you want to loosen each one about a quarter of a turn. And what this is going to do is it's going to help us once we get the vehicle up off the ground. It's going to help us be able to get the tire and wheel off easier without them spinning. So now that we have our lug nuts loosened up about a quarter of a turn, we're going to go ahead and get the vehicle up off the ground. So you want to make sure that there's no tire still on the ground. Okay. Now that we have the tire and wheel off the ground, we can finish getting our lug nuts removed. You're going to want to make sure that you have them on a flat surface so you don't have to worry about them rolling underneath the vehicle. You're going to just take the tire and wheel and slide it off. And one of the things that I do to make sure that the jack is safe, I take the tire and wheel and I just slide it right underneath the fender of the car, and then I go get my spare to put on. So now we're ready to install the spare. You want to make sure that the valve stem is always facing you and not facing the inside of the car. You want to make sure that the seat of the lug nut is going into the seat of that wheel. So now that we have all of our lug nuts and they're finger tight, we're going to go ahead and lower the jack down a little bit and then get these lug nuts tightened up. So you don't want to lower it down all the way. Right now we've got the tire touching on the ground, and this is when we're going to tighten those lug nuts up. You want to just make sure that you're tightening them down in a star pattern. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to get these on here pretty snug. Okay, so now that we have our spare on there safe and it's good and tight, what we can do is we can go ahead and pull this tire and wheel out from under here and go ahead and lower the vehicle the rest of the way. That's our tip for the day. For more information, go to our resource page at leschwab.com.